Oh. Dang it, my microphone was being dumb again. Um, Hello Deuterium, hello Zeekward, hello Aora, hello Natalie, hello Adam. um, and hello NBLismo, welcome. My microphone, I don't know what it is. I don't think it's the cable because I am using a different cable from the first time that happened, but it also happens less frequently with this cable. I don't know if I just need to like get a new XLR. Anyway, I don't know if the battle axe can be turned into the golem axe, but I want to use the great axe anyway, since I'll be going through the depths regardless. Oh, I should have named my character that. That would have been so much better than Iron Golem 2. I can't follow the same naming scheme for every stream. I did not drop my microphone last stream, actually. What happened was, I don't have, or my boom arm, the thing that holds the microphone itself came off. So what's happening now is the screw that used to hold that part on, which broke. So it's not like I can just screw it back on. The screw for the part that used to hold that on is now literally just hanging on to the microphone itself. So it just fell forward. It didn't like fall off. Darn, only one hit. Unfortunate. Yeah, I don't know. I'm probably just gonna go straight to, or do depths clip, grab the great axe, and then do send skip, and go from there. That is a wonderful question, Henry. I'm gonna go ahead and say yes. Oh, isn't the great axe like 32 strength requirement? What's the 20 something probably? The science girlies. I'm gonna need at least 26 strength, I think, to wield the Golem Axe in the first place. I'll probably go to 36, just for riposting. Oh, don't worry, I'll still be rolling. Iron Golem is just a coward, but he can't roll because he's in that tiny arena. I'm trusting that you can figure out how to spell hilarious. You have the entirety of human knowledge at your fingertips. You can do this. I have faith. Okay. So far, so good. Now the hard part. What do you trade to get the Demon Titanite from Snuggly? Can you trade for Demon Titanite? I'm actually gonna look this up real quick, hold on. Because I'm pretty sure if you can buy it from this character. Here's one, Demon Titanite. Dung Pie and Prism Stone. Okay. It's easy. I'm pretty sure she sells both of those, but I don't know if I have enough souls for both. Never mind. Cool. And then I can get the two easy Prowling Demons and Sens. I can get the one in Undead Parish, and I can get the one in Orlando, as long as the few Demon Titanite just scattered about in Orlando. Yeah, but Goff isn't gonna fall off if he rolls. Oops. I can do this. I've done this a lot. I know what I'm doing. In theory. I got this. Restaurant is easy to spell. I've never... Okay, I extremely rarely spell maneuver. So I probably couldn't spell that off the top of my head. Restaurant is only easy to spell because I do the mnemonic thing with like the rest hour rent. Hilarious. The run is the run itself is just Golem Axe. So I'm grabbing the Golem Axe, or the Great Axe, to transform into the Golem Axe later. But I also am gonna do Iron Golem cosplay. So, I mean, yeah, but it's not about him literally being able to fall off due to game mechanics. It's him not falling off, like, lore-wise. Like, do you really think he would try to roll in that arena? That's what I'm getting at. I'm gonna grab the large Titanite here so I can scoop it. Oh my goodness. Okay. Ow. I will never not hate how fast the big rats are. Iron Golem fell off. True. There we go. So far, so good. I don't think I need to worry about this rat. But just in case, I'm going to worry about it. Now. Okay. So far, so good. Yeah. English is just kind of memorization at some point. The rats come out of these ones? Of course they do. That's awesome. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. It staggers in one hit, so that's good. I swear, I'm good at the video game most of the time. Okay. I mean, again, I feel like, to be honest, I feel like the reason he doesn't roll is because the Fire Giant moveset just wouldn't work with Dark Souls 1. Ori is amazing. I love Ori. So I prefer the first game just because I find the level design to be more fun to explore. But a lot of people prefer the combat in the second game. I actually like the combat in the first game because it's pretty basic and like very fitting for what the game does. But the second game's combat is also really fun. But I like both games. I think they're both really good and very much worth playing. Actually, my first playthrough of Will-O-the-Wisps, I ended up getting sick the day it came out. Like, I didn't even have to lie to my mom that I was sick so I couldn't go to school. I just genuinely got sick. So that was very fortunate. And I spent all day playing Will-O-the-Wisps, and I 100%ed it, like, in 2 days? I 100%ed it very quickly. Very good game. I thought Goff got his helmet filled by other people because they didn't like him or whatever. I don't know. Just trying to be a little bit careful so I don't end up dying on my way through here. Oh my goodness. Alright. I will see you later. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna die to a dog. This is tragic. I know how to play Dark Souls, probably. Roof farming is one of the worst things about Dark Souls 3, I think. Not the worst, but it's up there. Oh my god. It's just a dog. There we go. I don't know. It's more my runs are usually more just about the weapon itself than the limitations set by the run, because that's just how I prefer doing the streams. So any arbitrary restriction I don't think is very compelling for this style of playthrough. 100 hollows versus Solaire. I don't know that I would put Solaire. Well, I don't know. I think Solaire would get obliterated by like broken straight sword hollows. I need strength so I can grab souls on the way. And then, yeah, from here I guess I can just do then skip. As someone who doesn't like PvP, regardless of the context. Hello Kitty versus Ornstein. I have a feeling that Hello Kitty would win against Super Ornstein, but not normal Ornstein. That's my prediction there. I guess I could just dupe souls actually, since I need to buy the Titanite as well, and get enough strength to use the weapon. Yeah, I just don't find the act of PvP itself very fun, personally. High defenses, I would beg to differ. His set is not particularly good, especially unupgraded, which is how he has it. Presumably, right? Alright, let's see if I can successfully make it through here without dying. I am gonna grab... Okay, I'm gonna at least mid-roll no matter what. I don't know if it's worth grabbing Havels. I haven't done a poise tank playthrough in a long time. You also can't upgrade the Iron Golem armor. Oh. I don't know. Oops. Muscle memory took over and I quit out before I meant to. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. PvP just doesn't do it for me. It's just not why I like these games. Well, yeah, that's why Super Ornstein specifically wouldn't be able to beat Hello Kitty. But I think normal Ornstein has enough attacks that go down enough. You wouldn't do Dark Souls 3 PvP because Dark Souls 3 PvP is full of people quick swapping. I don't know how true that is. But whenever I watch YouTube videos about Dark Souls 3 PvP, why did I grab that? It's mostly people who do stuff like quick swapping. I want to knock this guy off the edge. Come on. Soup Ornstein? I don't know. It'd be a lot better if a boss fight, though. A lot less annoying. I don't know. Why would you, like, invade at all, though? People are just trying to get through the game, and then you invade, and then make them do an entire area again. And it's just annoying. So there's max intelligence is 11. Himbo. Ornstein versus Minecraft Steve. I mean, I did kind of do that already, actually, quite a while ago. What's the requirement for Lightning Spear? How does he use Lightning Spear? He does have one of the best talismans, but it only ends up being good once you have high faith, right? Like before that, the canvas talisman or whatever is just better. Not the canvas talisman, but the normal talisman. Panels of history. Really an engaging boss fight. NPC fight, not boss fight. I know what I'm talking about. Engaging gameplay. Canvas Talisman is the best one. I'm gonna have to hard disagree on that one. Because I know at the very least the Dark Moon Talisman is just better. Just bits of enemies. Yeah, I mean, what else is there? There's like Monster Hunter, but those are highly modified at best, right? I don't know though. Dark Souls has like their Dragon Tooth, and that's kind of it in terms of unmodified monster parts as weapons. Because like Moonlight Greatsword is Seath's tail, right? But it's a sword and not swinging around his tail kind of thing. I used to struggle to parry Havel, so I would like parry him once and then backstab chain, but yeah, I don't know. You get used to it. It becomes easy eventually. You just gotta keep doing it. And, you know, you get in the groove. The monster's head on a stick, that's true. I mean, Dark Moon requires grinding if you're doing it glitchless, but why would you ever do anything in Dark Souls glitchless? Personally, I'm okay with using glitches in pretty much any circumstance as long as it only reduces time spent. So like, I'm not going to use a glitch if it makes the game vastly easier. Like, I'm not going to soul dupe my level super high. But I will dupe materials to just like save time kind of thing. But then, like, if I'm just doing a casual run, obviously I don't have any qualms with using glitches to do whatever. I don't know. Generally, I don't find it fun if the game is just super easy. The last time I had fun just using soul duping to make the game incredibly easy, aside from playing Seamless. God, when was that? I mean, when I like first figured out about duping, I did it a ton to make the game easier, and then I just got really bored with it, so I haven't done it since. A mini Solaire as a pet? In what context? Like, how small are we talking? Are you okay? What are you talking about? Okay, well, we got 2 Titanite chunks and the Crystal Lizard, which we don't need at all, but that's okay. I don't know, I just don't find the game fun when I press one button and reach the end of the game. Unless it's like, okay, I'm doing absurd amounts of damage and that's funny. Like with, you know, highest AR possible kind of runs, whatever. Isn't the highest AR possible technically an enchanted Great Club? But it's split damage, so it's not as good as the Demon's Great Axe or whatever. Or, yeah, I don't know. I remember seeing someone say that in the comments of the highest possible AR video I did a while ago. I don't mean it in a freaky way. I'm gonna be honest, the very first thing my brain went to was that Jimmy Neutron and Fairly Odd Parents crossover, where Carl asks or wishes for Jimmy's mom in the bottle, in the jar. That is genuinely the first thing I thought of because I saw a bunch of memes of that recently. No, it's fine. I'm gonna go get the Titanite from the Baronite Knight, but it's fine. I don't need it. I am gonna need more souls anyway, though, so just gonna go ahead and do this. I think like proper boss cosplay runs, like the Artorias and what was it? How do you pronounce it? Kiaran? That run I did with Aurora a while back and the Ornstein and Smough one. Like trying to get the stats to the right level to properly imitate the boss was really fun. What the? Oh. That confused me so much and I have no idea. I should have duped that. That's fine. I'm also going to buy the Smith box, actually. Just so I can use it inside of Sens. And then might as well get that for later since I have the souls for it. Doesn't Garen have an insane amount of health, though? Compared to every other NPC, especially. I'm just gonna go 27 for now, and then drop these souls. I love how short that fall is. Of course they did stuff. Like, the joke is always that Ornstein and Smough are gay because they're gay. That's just, like, common knowledge at this point. I know I'm gonna be mid-rolling for most of this run, but I don't want to be. But just when I'm, like, going between areas, I'm very happy to take the armor off regardless. And also, before I have the armor in the first place, I'm gonna very much try to not mid-roll. Come back here. Up. It's been a while since I've used a giant weapon like this. Might have to get back in the groove of it. Her health doesn't match her vitality? What, is she wearing Tiny Being's ring? Ah! Let me roll! Okay. It just refused to let me roll. Okay. Ornstein is a power bottom, huh? I'm okay with that headcanon. I don't know. I think they're both switches, but Ruby Day. Welcome, Myth. Hope you enjoy your time here. Do I have a bone? I don't think I do. I do not. I should have bought some from the female undead merchant, but it's fine. Ornstein is the dom, but Smough is the top. I'm gonna trade for the Demon Titanite real quick. You need 10, I think, for a plus 10, which means 2 from here, the 1 from the Undead Parish. I'm gonna get 2 in Sens. There's 3 scattered about in Orlando, and then the 2 from the Prowling Demon in Orlando. So I think that's 10. If I did my math correctly. Did I just land there? Okay, so apparently you can land here. That is unfortunate. On the bright side, I can grab the bones. I think it's from this one. Slightly disoriented. Yeah, let's try that again. Foretellers are going to be annoying with a Great Axe, but it's fine. I'm excited for the full Great Axe playthrough, just because I've never used it, and it's such like a normal weapon. Game is game. Yeah, something like that. Ringing both bells is what triggers Domhnall to move, right? So I just need to beat the Iron Golem and ring both bells and I can buy the set. I don't think I'm gonna have to fight the Gaping Dragon. I also don't need to fight Stray, which is really nice. What kind of damage does the axe do? Great axe. Can't check the regular damage, okay. Yeah, ringing both bells, okay. Good to know. Okay. So I'm just gonna grab the weapon and then go straight to Domhnall. Or go straight to both bells and then get down low. Oops. I meant to jump attack. No. Of course. Like I said. Yeah, that's kind of what I was going for. I'll probably go to 36 strength. Just so I can riposte, but... Well, I don't know. I'm going to be poise tanking everything, right? So... Maybe I should get the wolf ring just so I can have a truly absurd amount of poise. God's Greatsword is ugly? It's a giant slab of metal. It's not supposed to be pretty. And if anything, I think that makes it look better because it's not specifically trying to be ornate. I don't know. Is that poise worth it, though? I mean, once I level up my vitality, I guess. I need to... So the thing is, I did an Ornstein run. Or I used Ornstein's spear, rather. Not a proper Ornstein cosplay. Up to Calamite, and I never actually beat Calamite because I hated using the spear against Calamite because I hate the spear moveset and it does so little damage. There we go. Much better. Dang, this is +6. And it does a funny amount of damage. Whoa, hey, calm down. There we go. I guess I should use Favor and Protection. Just for the extra health. Okay. It's Stung Pie. And Prism Stone. Okay. And Prism Stone. Don't jump off the edge on accident. I've done that far too many times. The Bastard Sword does similar damage. I've been meaning to use the Bastard Sword just because I've obviously used the Claymore a lot, and I've always just kind of discounted the Bastard Sword as a worse Claymore, but I've never used it. I don't know. I think that'd be a fun one to use at some point. I did put a Divine Bastard Sword in the Catacombs in my mod. I need to finish that. It's just like a bunch of balance changes I need to make to random numbers. So like, I've been really putting it off, but I want to get that done by next week. Just because it's so tedious, but I really want to do it. Bastard Sword carried Sieglin through Dark Souls 1. Oh, are you talking about the Great Axe? That shreds enemies? Because unfortunately we'll be getting rid of the Great Axe very soon. Okay, I have everything I need from before... Oh, I should kill this guy. Just because he's here and attacking me. Oh my god. I'm very excited to do my Great Axe playthrough. I think that's going to be a fun one. Ouch. Oops. Yeah, unfortunately we are going to be getting rid of the Great Axe very soon. I don't know, maybe I should just pivot to doing a Great Axe run right now. Oops. I pressed L1 instead of L2. What am I doing? Never. Hitless runs are boring and frustrating. Excuse me. Jesus. And also incredibly stressful. I don't know, I'll probably do Deathless at some point, but definitely never Hitless. Okay. Is this slow enough? It is not. Okay. Thanks, I guess. There we go. Yeah, I mean, Demon's Great Axe was really fun, and it one-shot everything. um, but the Great Axe is guaranteed in a run, and is also, well, it's the same upgrade path, isn't it? I don't know. Is it faster? Is the Great Axe faster than the Demon's Great Axe? I hope you enjoy Ori. It is a very... Which one? Which Ori are you playing? They're both incredible. Out of curiosity. Bloodborne is Dark Souls 3 if it was good. That's an awesome opinion. I'm gonna heavily disagree with you, just because the gameplay loop of Bloodborne and the gameplay loop of Dark Souls 3 are just entirely incomparable. But that is a really funny opinion. So, um, yeah, that's a good opinion. I had to fight. Okay, so funny story. Oops. Funny story. This week, this Sunday, I want to get a Ghostblade run out. Whoa, hi, guy. Pardon me. I want to get a Ghostblade playthrough out. And about 9-10 months ago, I actually did most of a playthrough with the Ghostblade, but never ended up finishing it because I kept dying to Artorias and just did not want to deal with Artorias. So then a couple days ago, I was like, wait, I have this run that I haven't done, that I've had this character for 10 months. I'm going to go ahead and try to finish it real quick. And I beat Artorias first try of the day. And I had gone back to it every couple of months and just like given it a couple tries. And then died really quickly and just kind of stopped trying that day. But I beat it first try on that day a couple days ago. And had to do it. It was like a 5-minute fight, completely hitless. And then I did the same thing with Manus, which was about a 4-minute fight, completely hitless, and then about a 6-minute Calamite fight, completely hitless. And then decided that because I had recorded the footage on my laptop, so it was probably lower quality, and also I did it, 9-10 months ago, where I was just worse at the game, that I should probably get some of the footage from earlier in the game. And then I just did the entire run again. So I have 2 entire Ghostblade only playthroughs under my belt. I also hacked it in the first time I did it. The second time I did not hack it in. I did a fully legitimate getting the Ghostblade from the Banshees, which was horrendous and took forever. I think it was like 50 runs to just get the Ghostblade to drop once. It was so awful. Yeah, I beat Dark Souls 2 or Dark Souls 1 twice with the worst weapon in the game. I don't know why I finished the second run, but I don't regret it. It was fun. Dark Souls 2 is awesome. Dark Souls 3 is Dark Souls 2 if it was bad. No. Elden Ring is Dark Souls 2 if it was bad. Yeah, Ori 1 is probably better to start with. Deuterium. I very much enjoyed both, though. And I know people who have started with Will-o'-the-Wisps and liked it. But yeah, Definitive Edition removes a soft lock, adds an area, adds an ability, stuff like that. Dark Souls 3 is any other game in the franchise if it was terrible. I would argue that Dark Souls 3 compared to Dark Souls 1 is more like, oops, that's not what I want. Is more like Skyrim to Morrowind, where obviously Skyrim is Dark Souls 3, and Morrowind is vastly better in every way. But, at least Dark Souls 3 is good as opposed to Skyrim. Personally, I enjoy all 3 Souls games. I also enjoyed Bloodborne quite a bit when I played it. I don't particularly enjoy Elden Ring, most of it, but I've tried a lot. Yeah, the first playthrough of Elden Ring is awesome. Like, my first playthrough of Elden Ring, I had so much fun. And then my second and third and fourth and fifth and sixth and seventh and eighth and ninth, I just started having less and less fun every single playthrough. And then once the DLC came out, I did an entirely new playthrough using only the Claymore and had a lot more fun because I had just come off of Dark Souls 3, which has very similar combat to Elden Ring, especially compared to Dark Souls 1. Oh, excuse me, which I had just played before my first couple playthroughs of Elden Ring. So, Elden Ring is the Skyrim of Dark Souls. I mean, I guess. Yeah, I don't like Elder Scrolls games, and I still like Morrowind for whatever reason. I don't have any souls to do. I should do that. Which is why I grabbed the cage key, I guess. Are there any souls up here? Oh, wait. Isn't there a soul item over here? What am I doing? I'm gonna get obliterated. Okay, we're good. Look, I'm playing Dark Souls 1 right now, and I am having an awesome time. Dark Souls 3 is so aggressively different. Like, what the games are going for, Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 3 is so aggressively different that saying Dark Souls 3 is Dark Souls 1 but at all makes no sense. Let's see. Actually, I don't know what my sword quantity is right now. Okay. Just gonna get the large titanite shard. Or the 2 large titanite shards, whatever. Lava? You're drunk. Not the Orthodox Christian that I would have expected, but yeah. I remain staunchly against religion, but if you're drunk because of a religious thing you're doing, that's awesome. I'm so happy for you. Yep, that's not what I want. Dark Souls 3 absolutely does not have levels that are fun to explore. You're just wrong. I'm sorry. As somebody who loves Dark Souls 3 and has played it so many times to just like try to enjoy it more and have succeeded in a lot of ways, Dark Souls 3 levels just are not nearly as fun to explore as Dark Souls 1 or 2. Yeah, but your phone was incorrect. I am being incredibly facetious if that isn't obvious. um, but, you know. The way you play Elden Ring is fundamentally weird. In what way? Yeah, in America, our Orthodox Christians very much do not enjoy getting drunk. Or, I mean, they probably enjoy getting drunk, but not religiously. No, Dark Souls 3 is good if you play it correctly. If you play it like Dark Souls 1, it's incredibly boring. And also incredibly annoying, because you're going to get constantly ambushed and stuff. But, I don't know, if you play it like Dark Souls 3, I think it's a pretty good time. This is a lot of damage. There he goes. You know, I saw a TikTok the other day, or I don't know, probably the other week by now. And it was like the top 10 worst things I've said to a girl or whatever. And one of them was, you know, you're just like your father. And I think being compared to someone else's father isn't quite as bad, but it's still up there. um, I play Dark Souls 3 by engaging with the fact that I will be ambushed and learning to overcome ambushes rather than trying to diffuse and go about ambushes in a way that won't like, or that'll try to avoid them or whatever. That is pretty cool. Anthony, uh, my best friend from high school, brain? It's in there somewhere. His stepdad. His name is Scott. He's pretty cool. That's probably the only dad off the top of my head that I would be okay with being compared to. First, yeah, your visa went through. Thank you so much. That is very exciting to know. And again, thank you. I still firmly believe you give me way too much money, but I appreciate every cent. How are you gonna come to the US if you give me all your money? My dad is probably the worst possible. No, he's up there though. He's a pretty terrible dad. Um, he is currently a drug dealer, in fact. So he was very Christian. I don't know that I could say he's very Christian now. He's emotionally neglectful and abusive. You know, that kind of deadbeat father, whatever. But I don't know. I turned out okay. Just with a couple. I'm not allowed to say that on YouTube. A couple character traits that I wouldn't have otherwise. So like most holidays, just it happens to be justified under having a personal holiday under religion. Yeah, my dad's not a great person. I don't know, it's kind of funny at this point, but definitely had some itches growing up. Hello, Failure, welcome. Your dad could win? That's a good question. How much does it cost to upgrade the Great Axe each level? Ugh, ouchie. Or, I mean, the Iron Golem Axe. I assume it's 1,000 a level? Oh, okay. Dark Souls with daddy issues, yeah. That's every single moment I've spent playing Dark Souls. Hello, Loot Crate, welcome. You know, it occurs to me that Dark Souls unironically probably helped me get over not get over, but cope with the daddy issues. I can't get the armor yet. I haven't rang either bell. And I also want to get the axe first, because the weapon is the important part. That's just Dark Souls. That's true. Yeah, same. Dark Souls got me through a lot. Dark Souls has changed my life in a lot of ways. Like, obviously, you know, it's basically my job. And I've met a lot of really cool people through it because people are here to watch me play Dark Souls, and then I happen to be cool people who I end up meeting and finding out are really cool people. But on top of that, just all the, like, you know, my first playthrough being so life-changing about how I approach challenges and everything. And just how I understand challenges in life generally. Yeah, Dark Souls got me bitches. True. Okay, so far so good. I'm gonna attempt to not look at chat as I go across the extremely thin walkway, and hopefully not die. Okay, I get it. Jesus. Dark Souls wasn't even the first game I played where, like, I needed to be extremely persistent about something, but it really taught me how to, like, engage with that and also take advantage of it, of that persistence. My... You can dupe souls in Dark Souls 3? I assume you're using mods? I never talked to Slayer. There was no reason to. I didn't even fight Boris. Me and the bad bitch I pulled by being autistic. Yeah, I'm playing Dark Souls. That's me and every single one of my partners. Dark Souls 3 has a soul dupe? I actually had no idea. In my first... Yeah, the first time I beat Dark Souls 3, I immediately went into New Game Plus, and then, like, up to, I don't know, probably New Game Plus 4. And did all the bosses every single playthrough, and genuinely really enjoyed it, just because New Game Plus is so much easier in Dark Souls 3 than Dark Souls 1. I'm very glad that was a stagger. Grey Demon strategy on the Prowling Demon works shockingly well. Just faster. Oh. I'm very glad that didn't kill me. Kind of surprised, though. Oh. Ah. Just the Iron Golem does it? Does he? I actually don't remember. Revenants. I don't know. I don't think you're quite that bad. Yeah, Dark Souls is very... I feel like the marketing hurts what Dark Souls could be for a lot of people. Just because, like, it's not meant to be difficult. That's not the point of it. But that's obviously all the marketing hampers on. Which is unfortunate. I don't know, I started playing Dark Souls 2 because people were like, oh, this game is so awesome. But I didn't have the money to afford Dark Souls Remastered. Actually, I don't think Dark Souls Remastered had come out at the time, and Dark Souls 2... Why did that one-shot me? Okay. Dark Souls 2 was like 10 bucks at the time, so I bought it. And then I played for like an hour. I was like, nope, not playing this. And then I was like, wait, people really like this game. I should give it another shot. Or people really like Dark Souls in general, I guess. I should give it another shot. And then I ended up adoring Dark Souls 2 and having a wonderful time with it. But didn't beat it until after I had beat Dark Souls 1 and played some of Dark Souls 3. And now I love all three of the games. Silk Song tomorrow. We'll see. Ow. Please don't have that kind of range. That's unfortunate and annoying. Can you get away from the wall, please? This one being in such a tiny room is so frustrating. Oh, I still need to get the 2 Demon Titanite from the Defense Fortress. I'll get that after I get the Golem Axe. It's fine. Ouch. Okay. Hold on. Unfortunately, I do need to pay attention to the game right now. You hate Titanite demons? I mean, I did too until I realized you could just stand behind them and obliterate them extremely easily. Oh, I say as I'm about to die. No! I was hoping I could at least trade. Oh, but then I wouldn't have gotten the drop. That's tragic. What do you mean Dark Souls 1 was the easiest? Dark Souls 3, I would say, is the easiest by far, if you actually play the game the way it expects. I would say Dark Souls 2. Yeah, I would say Dark Souls 2 is easier as well, just because you have so many more build options. Like, the ladle can be extremely powerful, and you can obliterate the game with just the soup ladle, like a broken soup ladle. And I feel like, at that point, if you're saying that Dark Souls 1 is the easiest, you are either not very good at the other games, or you're just trying to be contrarian. Okay, Dark Souls 3 is the simplest then. Maybe not the easiest, necessarily, but definitely the simplest. Oh. Okay. Oops. Skill issue on my part. That was genuinely great. I would argue that Demon Souls is the easiest if you have a decent build. Otherwise, it's incredibly difficult for no reason. Can you stop jumping all over the place? Jesus. The Chosen Undead would slam Skyrim. I mean, first of all, the Chosen Undead can dodge, so that's a huge boon. And would make Skyrim incredibly easy. Well, assuming it had hitboxes to accommodate that kind of thing. I need to... Honestly, I think I would be able to enjoy Skyrim. I don't know if that's a strong word. I would be able to not hate Skyrim if the combat was decent. You emulate it is the easiest way to play the original Demon Souls. That's what I did. Wait, no, this isn't... Yes, it is. Come on. I know what I'm doing. I don't know how I timed that so horribly. Demon Souls is super easy to emulate, unless you have, like... I don't know. If you have a laptop that is capable of playing... I don't know, like Elden Ring, then you can absolutely play Demon Souls. It's worth a shot at least, right? Actually, I streamed an entire playthrough of Demon Souls emulated and didn't have any issues at all. Okay. Steal a PS3? Yeah, there you go. Minecraft is horribly optimized. Everything is going to lag while playing Minecraft. My 3080, I don't even remember what my GPU is. My beefy computer also lags while playing Minecraft. Yeah, Windows is annoying at best. Okay, how many Demon Titanite do I have? 8. Okay, I just need the 2 from Sens. Gives me the max out. That was not my experience at all with Demon Souls, fortunately. I don't think I had any hiccups at all, actually. Chosen Undead is canonically gay? I don't think that's true. Well, okay, I guess if I'm playing the game, the Chosen Undead is canonically gay, so true. Saying Minecraft is horribly optimized gives it too much credit. That's true. Minecraft is not optimized. Okay, Golem Axe, there it is. Do I have enough souls? No, not even remotely. That's awesome. Do I even have the stats to two-hand this yet? Oh yeah, of course. I have 27. Is most commonly gay. Most people who play Dark Souls are gay. I like this. Yeah, I just got the axe. Oh, that's so much worse damage. That's unfortunate. Okay, well, I'll get the souls I need to upgrade this thing from Ornstein and Smough. Then we'll have decent damage for the rest of the run. Yeah, we're getting there. Almost have the cosplay ready. What do you think made me gay? Women, I would hope. Okay, I think I just need to be patient with this one. Not like that. Oops, that's not good. No, please. if he had... I was gonna say if he had done the follow-up, I would have died, but... a little late for that. TikTok Dark Souls fans are the worst. Yeah, I'm not gonna disagree with that one. Yarn specifically. That's fine. That's valid. I don't know. Yarn honestly doesn't do it for me. Like, I get it, but I don't know. Not really my type. Dark Moon Nidus, on the other hand. Ornstein will make any woman lesbian. I would say Artorias, but yeah. Ornstein's wonky it give mind. Krista, I don't think that's what you meant to type, but... no, please. Okay. Patient. Be patient. Don't get greedy. It's fine. It's just Ornstein and Smough. Please. If you use your brain, it becomes the easiest boss in Dark Souls. If assuming you don't get incredibly unlucky. That one was just skill issue, admittedly. Leave me alone. I don't have humanity equipped. I don't have very much humanity. That's unfortunate. Okay, everything's fine. That was... I hate that hitbox. Sometimes the greed pays off, but not very often. Probably a lot. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to have 36 strength to parry Gwyn, so... Okay. So far, so good. Arguably. 2 more. And then the boss becomes easy. Oh god. Okay. The boss has become easy. There we go. Oh wait, how much how much... Is it the one-handed R2 that does the wind? I can't even use that then. That's unfortunate. Okay. So I'm gonna have to get 36 strength for that at least. That is also actually really good because that means I can jump attack without fear of obliterating my weapon. I have gotten multiple people into Dark Souls 1, and I don't know that any of them have actually rage quit, actually. It's stand under his legs, and you win, assuming you don't get obliterated by a terrible hitbox. Quit Dark Souls? Yeah. I think the majority of my Dark Souls quits were just like, I died to that boss again, I'm gonna take a break. I'm sure there's something there, NB. Keep trying. I definitely couldn't come up with that. Brazil mentioned get the bingo cards. Okay. We gotta finish that. We gotta get other other stuff on there. I would not recommend driving drunk, but getting drunk is fun. I almost beat Ornstein and Smough on my very first try ever, and then I got scooped like 7 times in a row. But almost. Okay. I need to get a little bit more strength, and then I will go to... and... more suggestions for the bingo card. What exactly does waking up on the ceiling entail? I have a bunch of bones. I should just use one. I'm gonna level my strength first, just so I don't forget, because ADHD does that. Perfect. Okay, no longer need to level strength. Probably go with 40 vitality now, and then from there, 40 endurance. We all have a bunch of bones? Okay, I have bones that I can use specifically to teleport back to the last bonfire I was at. When I played Dark Souls for the first time, I didn't summon, but not out of a, oh, I need to be good at the video games, my friends will think I'm fool. It was just like, I didn't find it fun to summon. I did summon for Ornstein and Smough on my second playthrough, but I specifically avoided summoning on my first playthrough, and I don't regret that at all. Yeah, Sens, okay. Use the special attack on Guinevere. Okay, I won't rest here, and then I'll bone out of Sens, and then I'll be back at the... I never opened a Sens. Okay, I forgot about that. I guess I am going to ring the bells first. Every enemy dropped a homeward bone. Most enemies just kind of sit there, though. I mean, I guess you could carve their bones out, but isn't it only bones of the undead? Or how does that work? What are homeward bones? I'm sure it says it in the item description. Here, let's see. Oops. Bone fragment reduced to white ash. Is it a bone from a bonfire? Which are fueled by the bones of the undead? How does that work? Why are homeward bones? How? Everyone always asks what are homeward bones, but never how are homeward bones. Stop turning so much. Oh my god. That was so much more damage than I was expecting. Hey. Yeah. Oh. I didn't have as much range as I was expecting it to. Cool. 510. Down to 480. Okay. Only 30 durability. That's not that bad. Yeah, I think the feather and foiled sword fragment were both really good additions to Dark Souls 2 and 3. I feel like having something like that would be better in Dark Souls 1, just because you don't have warping for a while, and once you unlock warping, it would make sense to be able to, like, homeward bone infinitely. But, I don't know. Well, I guess it's also that you can't, like, teleport to any bonfire. So, I don't know, actually, if I would like a homeward bone, or, yeah, an infinite homeward bone item in Dark Souls 1. Most violent tail cut you've ever seen. I'm gonna have to agree with that. Estus tastes like hard liquor, specifically brandy. I've never had brandy. I'm gonna argue that it tastes... It definitely tastes like a hard liquor. It's like the burning, you know, it's fire, right? But like, why not like a fireball, you know? I think a fireball would make more sense in terms of flavor profile. But I've also just never had a brandy, so The dark sign doesn't count. It's not infinite homeward, it's infinite dark sign. Those are different things. Honk. Ashen Estus tastes like blue. Like blue raspberry. Blue raspberry also tastes like blue. Pardon me. Oh, actually, I guess I could have boned and used the special attack on Guinevere real quick. My grandma loves Fireball to the point where she had like a 10-pack of like little Fireball shots in her fridge almost at all times. There we go. Oh, a blast. That's also a good one, I think. Okay, to repair. That's what I was gonna do. Might as well repair everything. And then Firelink. I don't know. I really like... I'm not good with hard liquors just because I'm incredibly lightweight. Like 2 shots and I would be down. But like a hard cider or whatever, like a cider very much gets me tipsy. And I love the taste of like a cider or like a, I don't know. I liked Mike's Hard. One of the few like common alcohol drinks I've tried. How do you know what that tastes like, Krista? Strawberry for blood vials? Yeah, something like that. On this elevator, I will be right back. I need to use the restroom. Okay, I am back. Make sure my microphone is working because for some reason it just decides to not sometimes when I come back. Hello? Okay. It occurs to me that the Four Kings, Manus, and Nito are all going to be extremely easy this run because I'm going to be poise tanking them. I think one of the weirdest alcohol flavors I ever tried was peanut butter flavored vodka. And it sounds awful, but it tasted so good. What do you mean? This is a lie. You can very much hear me. My OBS is telling me that my microphone is coming through. That's more than enough poise to make Four Kings funny. That is plenty of poise. Wolfring makes Four Kings funny. Getting conflicting information. I'm just gonna assume that you can hear me. I haven't actually tried any beer. But I feel like I would not enjoy the flavor, personally. I don't know. It just seems like that based on the smell and the vibes of it. Okay, so policy for the rest of the stream. If someone lies about not being able to hear me now, I will ignore them for the entire rest of the stream. New policy. Beer's kind of gross. Yeah, that's the vibes I get. Oh. I don't know. I feel like the point of drinking beer isn't necessarily getting drunk. I feel like it's, you know, having a little bit of liquid courage and also, like, socializing, right? Smell of hops is ingrained in your soul. George Orwell. Yeah, that was probably his name. Sounds right. I already have the Lord Vessel, so I can just go rest here. The 2 times I've socially drank, both both were with a partner's parents, because actually I think they were, one was for her birthday and one was because her grandma wanted to go on like a trip, and then they invited me with them for some reason, which it was really fun. I was really glad to go. But we went to a restaurant for that partner's birthday, and I got a cocktail. Actually, her dad, one of the cocktails at the restaurant we went to was called the hot sugar cookie. And her dad asked, this was so stupid. This is the kind of person her dad is. It was like, are you gonna get you could get a hot sugar cookie. Oh, but you already have one. And then he pointed at me. And that was, if I hadn't been drunk, I probably would have been completely silent for the rest of the night. Not drunk, but like tipsy. Beer is about getting absolutely hammered and playing Dark Souls. I think you're drinking beer too quickly. Do you remember remembering to remember about that thing you forgot to remember? Unfortunately, no, I don't, because I have ADHD. I don't know, of the alcoholic beverages that I have tried, yeah, I think wine is up there as my favorite to just kind of sip on, but it also kind of depends on the kind of wine. I would not be surprised if most people here didn't have ADHD, to be honest. ADHD and autism. Never had a Chardonnay, actually. There's a lot of, like, quintessential alcohol beverages that I haven't tried yet, but I've had quite a few. It's ruby colored. It's me colored. I'm also officially undiagnosed, and I plan to never get diagnosed because I don't want to be legally discriminated against. Undiagnosed, but pretty sure. I got to the point where I was genuinely reading the DSM And I figured at that point, yeah, I'm probably autistic if I'm at that point. I am very much the opposite. My brain ceases to function the moment I imbibe any alcohol. On the other hand, I had 150 milligrams of caffeine before I streamed today, and do that before almost every stream. Okay, now I can actually go to Zen's and get the other two things. I've never had any nicotine and have been very pushed away from it by all the PSAs. Both anti-smoking and anti-vaping PSAs, and I have no desire to try anything nicotine at all. S for YouTube reasons, I'm not gonna say that out loud, but yes. Oh god. Everything's fine. Yeah, alcohol is not remotely addictive to me, thankfully. It's nice to have every once in a while, but I don't, like, only in the right context. So there's not a time where I'm like, oh, I really want alcohol right now. It's just like, oh, I might have alcohol at that time because other people are going to be there doing this thing or whatever. Here we go. Here's one. Just gotta be careful of these guys. Actually, I can probably just attack them. I don't know, I'm trying to backstab them. Ouch. Thanks, fine. I would never abuse substances. I love them. I've gotten high on weed specifically, or with weed specifically, a few times. First couple of times I had way too much and did not enjoy it. The third time I had about a quarter of the dose of the first two times, and it still felt like way too much. So that's my experience with weed. All three times were edibles, and I refused to smoke it. Well, I don't know. I don't refuse to smoke it, but I definitely would prefer to not, I think is my thing. Okay. And actually, I can just level up my weapon here. There we go. And now I can go buy the armor as well. What do you mean, when did the conversation change to drugs? It's been about drugs the whole time. Alcohol is a drug. Five times a recommended dose. Jesus. Yeah, the first time I took edibles, it took, like, I took half the recommended dose, and then an hour and a half later, it was genuinely just not affecting me at all. Literally nothing. And I took the other half, and then an hour later, it actually started kicking in. So that's my experience. That was my first experience with edibles. Do I have enough souls? I need to upgrade my healing. As cabbage. There we go. That's enough to buy the armor. That's absolutely gonna make me fat roll. I'm not gonna put that on quite yet. Owie, no, wait. Okay, we're fine. Yeah, that's... First of all, weed isn't illegal, and I don't know anyone who would say that isn't a drug. Caffeine is also a drug. I mean, psilocybin, 100,000% a drug, and not illegal everywhere. So, I think people play Battle of Stoicism. I don't. I don't know like how active it is because I don't play PvP at all. But as far as I know, it's somewhat active. Took 3 hours to kick in. Jesus. Is estrogen a weed? I wish. It'd be so much easier to get. Just grow it yourself. Yeah, isn't it like proportionally to the amount of people that do certain drugs? Like a lot of quote unquote hard drugs are less deadly than a lot of the legal drugs in a lot of places. Injecting an estrogen. Yeah. Unfortunately, estrogen is not easy to acquire. Yeah, weed is legal where I'm at. Psilocybin is legal if I take a 3-hour train. I want to try microdosing psilocybin because I've heard it's better, like, for brain function than caffeine. But I also don't know how that would affect me because ADHD and all that. But that is something that I wanted to try because they have like energy bars or whatever um, that are infused with psilocybin. But unfortunately, it's not legal here where I'm at. So I would have to go to a different state to get it. On an Amtrak. Understandable. You had to get crypto? I'm so sorry. Injecting weed cigarettes. Yeah, I'm very lucky that I don't have to take Spyro or any anti-androgen. Progesterone already makes me have to pee way more often than otherwise, and an anti-androgen would kill me with how much water I'd be losing constantly. You know, I'm surprised that YouTube didn't at least relegate that to live chat instead of top chat. YouTube is slacking. Anti-androgens and progesterone are both not great if you already have a small bladder. YouTube also loves piss, true. Understandable. Not my thing, but I get it. How much water do you drink, Tutorium? How often do you drink water, and how much of it do you drink? If you're kink shaming, you're a coward. I'm sorry, that's just how it is. If you want to kink shame, you're just a coward. Maybe a couple cups a day? Yeah, that's your problem. It does make you need to pee. You just don't drink enough water. Bring back shaming kink chambers. That's so much better of an idea. I like that. Kink is shaming. Once a day or more. Yeah, I drink once a day or more. Most days, or well, my average amount of water is probably around 160 ounces, which is just over a gallon. which I think is 3 liters? I don't know metric measurements as much as I should. Pink shaming, but endearingly. Yeah, sometimes I'll drink like 40 ounces in a day and be absolutely horribly dehydrated the next day. Yeah, 24 ounces is absolutely not enough. You just don't drink enough water. You know, I'm gonna be honest. This stream has made me significantly more excited for the 10K stream. We need more people. We need more. I don't care if it's just alts. I don't know. I don't care if it gets me more views or not. I just want to get to 10K so that we can actually do that stream because I think that's going to be a lot of fun. For those of you who are not in the know, it will be a drunk stream done exclusively on Discord because there's no way YouTube would allow that. Which means no holds barred. So we'll see how that goes. I cannot think of a kink that is genuinely bad. I mean, like, I guess that's not true. I can't think of a kink that, not including other people. What am I trying to say? As long as you're not hurting anyone, there's nothing bad. If you're not hurting someone, and you're not hurting yourself to a degree that is like genuinely harmful, then there is no problem. Okay, that's only mid-roll? Really? I'm actually kind of shocked that that's mid-roll and not high roll. Wow, this armor looks so dumb while two-handing this. Wow, poise technically. Okay. Ugh, it's so slow. I hate mid-rolling, not because it's hard to dodge while in mid-roll or whatever, but because you move so slow. Oh no, that's fat roll. Never mind. I don't know why I thought that was mid-roll. Back here. Oh my goodness. Canis? I'm hearing you. We've already listened. That's like very basic. Hear me out, to be honest. Okay. At what point? Okay, that's mid-roll. That's so cool. Oh, yeah, actually. I know what I'm doing, probably. Head of Chaos is also a basic hear me out. I feel like all Dark Souls bosses are basic hear me outs. Except for, like, maybe Gaping Dragon. Okay, good luck. Good luck cleaning up. Hear me out can be in the bingo. I mean, it doesn't happen very often, though. Orphan of Cost is pretty basic, though, too, right? Because it's too humanoid for that. It's too humanoid to be like a actually good hear me out. And, like, don't get me wrong. Among normal people, that's absolutely a good hear me out. But around here, Because, like, you know, Kazu is my prime one, and I would say that's not even that intense of a one. Blizzard Beast is alright. The one Reborn? Okay. No, I would say... I don't know, actually. Sanctuary Guardian is a good one, actually. I like that one. And I'm definitely listening. And to be Demon... I don't know. That's fine, I guess. Mikolash. Didn't we... A long time ago in the Discord, there was a conversation about Mikolash and how he is a he-him trans woman. Who doesn't know how to tie his shoes. Boss of man. I mean, Eodex Gundyr. Kind of a boss. You think he knows what a gender is? Yeah, but if he did, he would be a he-him trans woman. Robots are like the most basic, hear me out. There is no reason to kill him. I just realized, but it's fine. It's just... Just Ingward. He's fine. I feel like there's a scale of hear me out in present in Monster Hunter, because like, you know, I'm like, I don't know, Mizutsune is like a very basic, like, yeah, I mean, it's not humanoid, I guess, but it's obviously designed to be very pretty, very like visually appealing monster, right? But then you get something like Kazu, which is obviously supposed to be a lot more gross out, but also a lot more monster like than something like the Mizutsune. So like, I feel like there's a scale based on what monster someone would choose from Monster Hunter, someone would choose as their hear me out as to like how far gone they are. Aren't the Daedric princes like designed to be hot? Is that not the point? I don't remember. I actually don't remember what any of them look like. I might be thinking of something else. Arthur Sandworm is a good one. I like that one. Tentacles with an eye? Yeah. That's a pretty basic. Hear me out. Is that a... I assume that's a Daedric Prince. If so, then yes, they were all designed to be hot. If one of them is tentacles with an eye, absolutely. With their ruin sentinels? I agree. Same. Everything's fine. Have a good night, Krista. Thank you for being here while you could. I hope you sleep well. Oh, wait, ring. Ugh. No, you can't put it on while falling? That's unfortunate. Forgot that I have to pay attention to the ring now. That, like, genuinely didn't cross my mind because I haven't had to worry about it in so many playthroughs. Everything's fine. Any enemy with a thrust attack? The massive souls. The slugs. The demon soul slugs, specifically. Not the slugs, but the slimes. Yeah, I did that yesterday because I wanted to do... I got rid of the mod thing yesterday, I think. I don't know. Yesterday, the day before, something like that. Because I wanted the Ghost Blade run to be more legitimate because that is more focused on like being difficult than just like playing the game in a different way kind of thing. Gonna beat Bloodborne while crying yourself to sleep. Good luck with that. Oh, but that does mean I don't I don't know if it's worth price tanking the Four Kings, to be honest. Like I probably should for the cosplay thing, but ugh, might as well. Yeah. Which final boss? Are you talking about like Moon Presence or Gammon? I have no idea. Oh, Scotch. Okay. I forgot you were drinking actively. This way, I think. It's true. It does make for parrying. If you are good at parrying, well, BL4 is easy, just because you can parry everything. Oh, okay. It is worth voice tanking. I have learned. Okay, well, maybe not if they're gonna do this. Owie. I also haven't leveled up my Estus, which I kind of forgot to do, but it's fine. This weapon has a stagger, doesn't it? Yeah, okay. Slightly less damage to the boss itself, but that's fine. You can parry all the bosses that are actually difficult. Because, like, I don't know. You can't parry Amygdala, but Amygdala is incredibly easy to cheese because of the jump attack. So, like, I don't know. All the bosses that matter you can parry. And then, like, Parl. I don't like Parl, but at least you can just stunlock him, basically. I don't... The only non-parryable boss that I found particularly difficult in Bloodborne, just like a casual playthrough, was the fire dog in the fourth layer dungeon. Because, obviously... Oh, that's unfortunate. Make you dressed up as the doll. Yeah, probably true. Gehrman is a no for me, only because I am very much not into men. I don't know, I've been questioning my sexuality particularly a lot recently. But I can still confidently say that men generally do not do it for me. I would have said non-women about a couple of months ago, but unfortunately. There we go. Gehrman is at the bottom of your list of cool old men. That's fair, yeah. Okay. Slightly more vitality. I should upgrade my Estus. Can I go down to Daughter of Chaos? Wait, I'm going to Enrolando. I guess I can upgrade my Estus with Dark Moonitis. I found Lady Maria to be incredibly underwhelming. Only because I beat her in like 3 tries, and she was incredibly easy compared to what everyone was saying. Like, oh, she's such a difficult boss, but then you parry her like 4 times and win. Oh, okay, well, guess I'm not upgrading my Estus with her. Wait, why is she mad at me? Oh, because I killed Gwendolyn. Guinevere. I killed the Guinevere illusion. Huh. Yeah, women are always hot. I have yet to find a man that I would specifically be interested in. But couple. Okay, well, um, at least one non-binary person. But like, it also depends on how you define non-binary. Because most of my partners already aren't just women. Let me think. I don't remember what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, Orphan of Kos and the level 4 dungeon, or level 4 Palace dungeon in Bloodborne were the only like actually difficult things for me in my first playthrough. I did choose Shadows of Yharnam just because I didn't find it fun. But what am I doing? What did I hear? Let me out. But I don't know. I found Bloodborne to be shockingly easy in my first playthrough. Oh god. Stop charging. I need to hit you. Yeah. Make you appreciate the catacombs. I don't know. I liked the Chalice dungeons more just because they weren't so like egregiously overused, right? And they were like obviously optional. It wasn't like, you know, do this for fun. If you are enjoying the game and want to do more, and also probably New Game Plus when you're going to be able to cheese it anyway. I did them all in New Game, which was a choice that I made. But I don't know. I think just because of how not overdone they are, I find the Chalice dungeons more fun. Oh, I did actually have a lot of trouble in my first playthrough with the Bloodstarved Beast, only because I didn't understand that parrying was the way to play Bloodborne yet. So I didn't parry the Bloodstarved Beast in my first playthrough, which made it so much harder. Yeah, like there are like a grand total of 3 men who I've thought, oh, he's kind of attractive, but I've never been like, oh, I would want to be in a relationship with him. Not to say that I haven't been interested in someone with masculine pronouns, or what's the word for that? No, he him pronouns. Just not necessarily men with he him pronouns. That includes trans men, unfortunately. As cool as they are. Just not my type. Thank you for being here while you could, Secret. Have a nice day. Or night, depending on where you're at, I suppose. Oh my goodness, that's so much damage. Welcome back. How did you skip the Chalice dungeons? Is there like a code that you can use to go straight to the one with the queen? I don't remember the queen being particularly difficult though. Yeah, no, I get that, NB. That's definitely, yeah. I understand that. I found Amygdala to be way, way easier than the Fire Watchdog one. Just because you can like stand under where Amygdala jumps and then use a charge attack on the head. And it's just incredibly easy. If you stand under it, it keeps jumping. Yeah, I get that too, Philia. There are a couple fictional men I'm like, yeah, they're pretty cool. And then I think about them for another couple seconds, like, nope, never mind. Favorite band is a good question. I'm not actually sure who I would say. Um, the easiest answer for me would be like The Amazing Devil. Who else do I like? I've been listening to The Family Crest a lot recently, but I wouldn't say they're one of my favorites. They've just kind of gotten into my head with a couple of their songs, mainly Hearts on Fire. Um, Red is... Red, their first like 5 albums are really, really good. The band, Red, not like... It's just like R-E-D is the band name. And they did like symphonic metalcore. With their newer albums, they started doing more like electronic sounds and stuff. But their old albums are just so much better. They're Christian bands, unfortunately. But like I have never found a band with a similar sound to them that like satisfies the same itch that they scratch, you know. I always end up going back to them. Yeah, Pasakas. We love Pasakas here. Might have chaos mishap? Question mark. Ugh. They were getting a bunch of extra backstabs in today because I felt like it. And now a grab attack. Hope that was not the grab attack. There we go. Oh yeah, I do remember that. Oh right, I'm out of access. Fun fact, I learned this yesterday. You can get up on these gears and like jump around on them. I spent forever trying to get up on top of the big one, but I don't think it's possible. But you can... I'm pretty sure. Come on. If I ever make a follow-up to Unremarkable in Odd Places, this is absolutely going in that video. Let me up, please. There you go. And then the best way I could figure out how to do that is that, but I think there's like an invisible wall that actually prevents you from getting on the very top of that. It was fun to mess around with yesterday. I'm getting looped. Yeah, exactly what Dark Souls parkour was intended for. Getting out of bounds and into funky, weird spots that are just fun to be in. Global warming is homophobic. From experience. All right. Guinevere used the Stray Demon slam attack, butt slam attack. That's awesome. Meme roll onto the gear. I mean, I think it's too far away from anywhere up here. But even if you could, again, I'm pretty sure there's an invisible wall up there. Actually, you know what? Hold on. Figure this out. Fun. I have to go little amounts at a time because otherwise I will die from fall damage. Oh, you can just stand up here. Wait, then why did it keep pushing me off when I rolled? Huh. Very strange. Okay, well, if someone figures... Oh, because there's something here? That's evil, actually. That they would put something specifically there. That is unfortunate. Okay, well... It is not cheat engine. It is DSR gadget. I'm only using this speed to get back to where I was. Disassociating. Fun fact, if you didn't know, the ability, or the inability to teleport from this bonfire only exists within the cell, so if you rest at the bonfire from out here, you can warp just fine. However, I do unfortunately need to continue going through the Duke's archives. Oh, what the... I tried to bring the chat back into focus because DSR Gadget is actually over it. There we go. Yeah, I'm not cheating. I can just do that. Yeah, that is a trans person superpower. Just being able to do that. He is awful. Double jump. I mean, there's the squirrel ring in Remass Test. That counts. I need someone to, you know that like really bad Omni-Man AI voice where they did the, I'm Omniing it. Can someone make that say I'm duking it and then put that over like a video of Seath doing the crystal laser attack? Okay. Don't die. For the channeler. It immediately takes off my health. Oh god. No, please. That was so mean. Why would you do that to me? Ow. That was rude. Oh my goodness. Is it not a great axe? Oh, it's not. I just kind of assumed it was. Okay. Well, I guess I could have just used the battle axe instead of the great axe, but... Yeah, using the squirrel ring to get plunging attacks is extremely difficult because you have to do your positioning like perfectly. It's so annoying. Seath is my least favorite thing in Dark Souls. His boss run back is way longer than it should be. His boss fight is extremely boring. His lore is fine, but I don't know. Once you realize he went insane because he wanted to be immortal. It's like, okay, so like every other mad scientist character. Cool. Yeah, Seath isn't terrible. But, you know, he's a race traitor lizard because he wanted to be immortal. That's his whole thing. That's it. He just wanted to be immortal even though he didn't have the stone skills. That's his lore. I love the archives themselves. I think the archives is one of the, I don't know. I kind of go back and forth on which of the four lord areas is my favorite. Like right now, I would say New Londo is probably my favorite, but the Duke's archives was definitely my favorite for a long while. Um, yeah, I don't know. I like all of them, but the Duke's archive specifically, I think, stands out in a lot of ways. I really like the Duke's archives. Yeah, the caves are cool, but they suck and are boring. Um, I don't know. I wouldn't rank them, but I like them all for different reasons. Like the Duke's Archives is a really fun, like, puzzle box maze area with enemies that are like properly difficult regardless of your build. And I think that's really fun. I think that's a good thing that isn't done very much. um, I really like New Londo because of, I mean, the vibes, but just like it's a fun area to explore, and I think it's really, I don't know, it really capitalizes on the whole unremarkable and odd places thing. Like the whole game has that, but like especially New Londo, in my opinion. Not sure what it is, among other things. I think Izalith also has incredible vibes, and I think it's really fun to explore, especially with like the maze area underneath. I think that was done really well. And then, oh my goodness, that was not where I thought that was going to happen. Too bad I don't have Arte's arm. And then like, the catacombs, or the Tomb of the Giants, I think is also a really interesting concept. Um, and like essentially either forcing you to lose a gear slot in some way, you know, either like a spell slot or your helmet slot or your shield slot, and losing the ability to two-hand. I think that's a really fun way to force that, especially because once you learn the area, it's not required at all. So it just becomes a knowledge barrier or an equipment barrier. And I think that's a lot of what Dark Souls is as a whole, and I think that's a really good microcosm of it. I just really like all the areas. And they're all fun to play through, obviously. There we go. Seath would be a lot prettier if he had a better face. But his wings are really pretty. I agree. As soon as you walk into the cave, your JO crystal is immediately charged. If you have one that isn't like an immortality one. Okay, bit of chaos. If I had the chance, how would I change Seath? Okay, so like, I am working on a mod, and I am planning on changing Seath somewhat significantly. I'm gonna make him weak to bleed, about as weak as the Stray Demon, which I think will just make the boss less annoying for all builds, because you can just like grab a bandith knife and be done with the fight much quicker. You know, especially if you're doing like a magic build or whatever. But like, if I had the ability to completely rework the fight, that's a good question. I haven't really thought about it in that way. First of all, put a bonfire in the goddamn crystal caves. Or at least make the crystal caves significantly shorter, or maybe add a shortcut down to the bottom of crystal caves instead of having to go through the invisible pathways every single time and do that insanely long run. The fight itself, I don't know. I could have just warped. I forgot about that. I don't usually have the Lord, or I don't usually activate that bonfire. What are you talking about, Krista? You have a very pretty face. new crystal weapons, like proper crystal weapons, not crystal infused weapons, I assume. You know, that actually probably wouldn't be that difficult to add. It would just be like modeling the weapons that would be the hard part, I think. Especially if you give them just like basic movesets. I don't know, I think Seath doing anything other than just standing there and shooting crystal beams at you would make him a lot more interesting. If you could be more aggressive, like you kind of have to hang back because otherwise you're going to get the short range laser and that's going to obliterate you. So making it possible to be aggressive from neutral and then somehow making it, I don't know, not just standing there and waiting for an opportunity to attack would just make him so much more fun. Oh, the Maneater Mildred run is really fun. I did that. When did I do that? A couple months ago, I think. I think it's been that long. I don't know. I did that a while ago, but it was really, really fun. Gooning is the easy corner on the bingo. Actively gooning live on stream. Give Seath pronouns? I mean, he has pronouns. Because I forgot that I had the bonfire down here active. Actually, I need to upgrade my Estus before I forget again. I know what I'm doing, I swear. Okay, there we go. Yeah, change the architecture to like actually make sense for Seath instead of the tiny doorways that are actually in the archives. I don't know, can Seath like teleport? Is that his thing? Because like he's at the top of his tower, right, in the archives. And then you run straight down to the caves and he'll also be there. So like, can he teleport? I'm sorry, I had to think about that, Philia. Didn't we already have that as a square? Didn't we already have Krista donates on the bingo card? You can mark off that square for this stream. People loving Pasakas is what's in the middle, because that's a free square. That happens every time. Alright, have a good night. I hope you sleep well. Thank you for being here while you could. Oh my goodness. This is the best use possible for this. Or Hydra if I didn't immediately obliterate it, I guess. Instead of chaos stroking for wood. Why did I choose to read that out loud? That was unnecessary. I cannot believe that was just said in my family-friendly Dark Souls stream chat. Oak, how old are you? Are you aware of the fact that time zones exist? Yeah, of course. You're welcome for reading that out loud. It was It was for you. Isn't the Pyromancy Flame just better for Pyromancies than the Isolith Staff? Yeah. Actually, Isolith Staff is funnier. I'm back here. Oh my goodness. It is 5 p.m. for me. Pacific Standard Time. Which is why I say I stream at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time every Wednesday. Good job, Aura. I'm proud of you for that one. Isn't there a staff that can cast Pyromancies? It might not be Isolith, but I'm pretty sure there is a staff that can cast Pyromancies. I don't remember. I don't know which one. It's either the Isolith Catalyst or the Demon's Catalyst or whatever it's called. I've never actually used it, so that might be a lie, but I'm like pretty sure. As long as I'm not like overloaded, it's fine. Now we wait. Okay. Oh, give me put the ring on. Okay, I think fine. The easiest to dodge grab attack known to man. You know, Centipede Demon is technically a boss. Come on. There we go. And now I don't put that back on until Pinwheel. As I bask on my lith till I bask on my lisk till I cure. No. I see what you're going for, but I don't know if there's something that works. I'm not smart enough to come up with a answer. Or with a joke. You know what I'm talking about. Words are hard. Iron Golem. I don't know. I think I would disagree with that. Let me think. What would... I don't know. Like, Centipede Demon was the only boss that I beat first try in my first playthrough. Like, Iron Golem is easy, but not easiest. I think Centipede Demon is the boss that I have the least deaths to, but I wouldn't say it's the easiest because, like, by the time you get there, you just have a lot more experience than a lot of other easy bosses, quote unquote. I don't know. I mean, I've done that with the Stray Demon. That's not a mark of an easy boss. That's just the mark of a boss that comes early in the game and doesn't have very much health. Iron Golem is not mechanically the easiest. If that was true, then there wouldn't be so many people dying to the grab attack. I don't know. I think Sanctuary Guardian is definitely has to be up there in terms of how easy it is, just because it has no health. And by the time you get there, you know, you're in the DLC. So you're most likely going to have a plus 15 by then. And even if you don't, like, Sanctuary Guardian isn't particularly difficult. And even if, I don't know, I think if you have low damage, Sanctuary Guardian has the potential to be difficult. But that's arguable. Sanctuary Guardian is my favorite boss in any video game ever. I adore the Sanctuary Guardian. I think it's a super fun fight. I just wish it had more health. I think I doubled its health in my mod, which might be a little overkill. Oh my god, I'm gonna die. Everything's fine. I'm back. What are you doing? Favorite boss is Calamite? My favorite boss used to be Calamite. And then I fought him like a lot. And now Sanctuary Guardian is my favorite. I don't know, my favorite boss of all time has bounced between Calamite, Dancer. Yeah, it bounced between Calamite and the Dancer a lot. And eventually settled on Sanctuary Guardian of all things. I need to write a script tonight so that I can record it tomorrow. And I'm actually really excited for that video to come out because it was really fun to do. It's a really basic run, but it was really fun to do. I tried Early Dancer, and that's what made me like her so much. I had a lot of problems with specifically the Pontiff. And so I stopped fighting the Pontiff and went and beat the Dancer with a +6 in my first playthrough. It took so many attempts, and finally winning was so satisfying because the Dancer is like the exact kind of boss that I enjoy in the series. I mean, what are the other DLC bosses gonna do over Sanctuary Guardian, right? You have Artorias, who is an extremely basic fight with really not much going on with him. You have Manus, who is very turn-based. I would say, like, Manus is the pinnacle of... Dang it! I mistimed my dodge. Manus is, like, the pinnacle of Dark Souls turn-based combat. And you have Calamite, who is one of the best dragon fights in that series, but that's not saying much. And, like, Calamite's really, really good. But, like, I don't know, dives towards you, and then you make the tail slam down, and then you attack him a couple times. And then you roll backwards, and then you roll backwards, and then you run toward him, and then you roll backwards. I don't know. I feel like there's just not much variation with the other DLC bosses. They're all very, very simple bosses. Not that that's bad, and I don't think that makes them easy either. There's just not a lot of variation to them, as opposed to the Sanctuary Guardian, who is particularly varied in its attacks because it can, like, fly away and shoot lightning at you. The other bosses just don't have that kind of a switch up. Menace and Artorias have quick approaching attacks, but they don't really have switch ups. And Menace has, like, the dark magic, but you dodge them exactly the same as melee attacks, except for, like, the storm, which is more frustrating than anything because it's inconsistent. I don't know. Like, Sanctuary Guardian, all of its attacks are consistent, but you also have to dodge most of the attacks very differently and respond to them in a lot of different ways. Because, like, I don't know, for instance, when he flies over you and shoots the lightning down, you're going to be going toward him with the roll, or toward his destination with the roll, so that you can catch up to him faster and make him do an attack that you can punish, as opposed to Manus, where every single time he uses the bead, you just roll to the side, right? You know, every time I get grabbed by Calamite and get the Calamity effect, it's like, oh, that's so annoying, but then it lasts like 10 seconds, and it goes away, and I forget that it even happens. Come on, run, please. Jeez. Okay, well, I mistimed that again, but it's fine. That time I timed it correctly. Yeah, one stronger respawning Sanctuary Guardian would have been so much better than a double Sanctuary Guardian fight. I agree completely. Feels less like a Dark Souls boss. I feel like it's quintessential, like, platonic ideal of a Dark Souls boss. Because, like, the Dark Souls 1 is entirely about knowing how to deal with a boss, but it also incorporates having to time your dodges and positioning and stuff into that strategy that you have to learn, as opposed to, I don't know, Artorias, who you literally just time your dodges and that's the whole thing. While with Sanctuary Guardian, positioning matters a lot more and timing matters a lot more. You have to pay a lot more attention to his animations and everything. Where you don't... But where, like, that is present in other bosses, it's only specific parts of it for each boss. Favorite tail weapon? That's a good question. Probably Dragon King Great Axe. I don't know. There's not much competition there. I haven't used the Dragon Greatsword or the Obsidian Greatsword yet, but the Dragon King Great Axe is really fun. And what else is there? Orange Chartering Kick Attack is funny. I can't think of a single Dark Souls 1 boss that has an attack that would one-shot the vast majority of builds. Artorias Triple Flip if you get insanely unlucky. Manus's Juggle, I guess, again, if you get insanely unlucky. That's kind of it. I don't know. Moonlight Greatsword is fine. I like it, but I don't know. I just like the axe moveset more, to be honest. I really want to try Moonlight Greatsword in Demon Souls. I should make a video out of that. That'd be fun. I liked Dark Souls 3 Moonlight Greatsword just because it felt like it actually synergized with a Spellsword build, as opposed to the Dark Souls 1 Moonlight Greatsword, because most Spellsword damage comes from Crystal Magic Weapon. But like, Dark Souls 1 Moonlight Greatsword just does not synergize at all with that, and for that reason, I don't love it. It is a fine moveset, and it's fun to do an insane amount of magic damage, but that's kind of all it does. It's not a bad weapon by any means. And it has like the Greatsword moveset, so obviously it's fun. And it's Dark Souls 1, so I like it a lot, but relative, you know? Yeah, Elden Ring, I think, did really good with the what is it? What do they call it in Elden Ring? I genuinely do not remember. And I haven't used it in Dark Souls 2 yet, unfortunately. What do you mean spell swords don't exist in Dark Souls 1? I would highly beg to differ. Spell swords give you the most damage by far of any possible build. Yeah, Dark Moon Greatsword. Oh, 4 hits. Unfortunate. I was hoping it'd be 3. Stop it! Imagine dying to a pinwheel. Couldn't be me. Definitely has never happened to me before. Victorious' Thrust? You probably got hit twice by it then. But even then, it shouldn't do that much damage. Is there player counter damage in Dark Souls 1? I'm actually not sure. That is not the... there are no charge attacks in Dark Souls 1, so unfortunately, that is not the Dark Souls 1 Greatsword moveset. I'm trying to think what my favorite weapon would be in any of the games. I don't know. I don't even know what my favorite weapon is in Dark Souls 1. I've used so many of them, and I just haven't found one that's like, I love this. Like, I love the Scythe. I think it has a great moveset. It's really, really fun to use. But it's not like standout in any particular way other than having a fun moveset, which, like, you know, the Gargoyle's Halberd shares, the Black Knight Halberd shares, and the Gargoyle's Halberd obviously just does more damage. I think just in terms of the amount of damage it does, the Scythe feels more balanced than the Gargoyle's Halberd, and for that reason, partially, I like it more than the Gargoyle's Halberd. But, I don't know. I like the Jagged Ghostblade a lot, too. I just wish it did more damage, or scaled better. For me, it kind of depends on the weapon, because if you're spending multiple, maybe not minutes, but if you're spending a decent amount of time in Pinwheel's second phase, it just gets annoying having to dodge like 40 fireballs a second. But I do get the enjoyment of fighting Pinwheel early. But like if you grab, I don't know, Vamos's hammer on your way down, I think that's a really good amount of damage to fight Pinwheel with, and that becomes really fun. Maybe a little high, but... yeah, Bandit's Knife is good. I still need to do a full Bandit's Knife playthrough. I have 2 lists of, like, weapons. Jeez. 2 sets of 4 weapons that I want to put on polls. Like, one for next week, and then one for the week after. But it's definitely not set in stone. I might put Bandit's Knife on there. Not sure. I eventually want to do at least one playthrough with every single weapon in the game. And, like, there are certain ones, like, I don't know, blacksmith hammers that I had a specific idea for. I actually did that playthrough. I just need to write the script for it. Or, like, brain? That's in there somewhere. For the Warpick, there's another one. I mean, the Jagged Ghostblade, and there was another one after that, but I don't remember what I was going to say. There are 3 weapons that are usable. Well, 3 weapons that are usable in Soul Level 1, but are extremely rare to actually see within Soul Level 1 playthroughs. So I want to do 3 Soul Level 1 playthroughs with relatively rare Soul Level 1 weapons, where, like, I don't use... instead of using Pyromancy and Giant Blacksmith Hammer and Reinforced Club, I just use these 3 weapons that are pretty uncommon with Soul Level 1. Run with only crystal items? I did a run with only 1 crystal greatsword. But I haven't really done anything outside of that with the crystal items. I don't think the crystal weapons and armor and stuff are particularly interesting in any way. They just, like, don't have that much durability, but then you put the Eastwood Grain Ring on, and it stops being a problem completely. Considering I beat all the bosses with 1 crystal greatsword. I had no issues with it. I'm not around. What weapon does he use? Does he use a crystal greatsword? Partial of the Giant's Halberd. That's another one I haven't used. I want to use the normal halberd as well. Because I haven't used that one either. I think... I think this next upcoming poll is going to have Bandit's Knife, and then Giant's Halberd, Great Club, and Bastard Sword. I think that'd be fun. Both a straight sword and a great sword, huh? Interesting. There you go. Oh, I didn't put armor on. I kind of forgot about that. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, we're good. Okay, Nido has become easy. Upgraded crystal items. Huh. I wish crystal items did more damage. They'd be more fun that way. Okay, poisoning time. The cloak! Stop doing that. Ah. Unfortunately, I cannot poise through the explosion. Can you not do this multiple times in a row, please? Oh, you can poise through it. Never mind. Stop! Oh my god. I've never seen him do this many times. Okay, well. Easiest Nido fight of all time, I suppose. Not complaining about that. DLC time! I've never seen him spam that often. I've seen him spam ground stab a ton. Like I've had him do it like probably a dozen times in a single fight once, but I've never had him do the AoE more than like, I don't know, 3 times an entire long fight. Wow. Go ahead and speed up getting to the DLC a little bit because I don't feel like waiting that long. It's gotta not super speed off of the edge this time. I've definitely done that an uncomfortable number of times. His AI is broken today specifically. He released a hot patch that specifically broke Nido's AI. Nothing else, no other changes. They just thought it would be funny to do for one day. Movies. Okay. Favorite boss time. I should repair. Not that I have any reason to, but... Rings. What other ring should I even put on? Oh my goodness. You know, I should expect that every stream, but I never do. Okay, I've never done Sanctuary Guardian with anything other than a fast roll, actually. I don't think. Oh. That went shockingly well. Okay, half its health. Oops, I didn't mean to kick it. Boy's tanking the Sanctuary Guardian. Because most bosses have heat pronouns? I mean, it's just kind of the default for, like, video game bosses and stuff. I may get poisoned. Whoa. I'm kind of shocked I dodged that, actually. Oh. But yeah, like, Calamite, for instance, I feel like should have it pronouns, but he does have he pronouns, indeed. Have a good night, NB. Thank you for being here while you could. I mean, it's not even like defaulting to them, right? It's just that most of them have he pronouns. And then for the ones who don't have pronouns, like the Iron Golem, actually it does. Oops. It pronouns. I mean, very like masculine, right? Very obviously masculine coded. Like Artorias obviously canonically has he him pronouns, but you know, he's a he him lesbian, so we can headcanon other things. We don't need pronouns for bosses to be cool. Let me is any pronouns. I like to think that Solaire is in the any pronouns phase of like transitioning. You go from only he, him, and being really insecure with your femininity to any pronouns and being like a lot more comfortable with your feminine traits to she, her being incredibly uncomfortable with masculinity. He, her, it while being a lot more comfortable with your masculinity. That is an incredible Ornstein headcanon. I like that a lot. I wonder if I can mid-roll if I have Havel's ring on. Probably not. I could try it though. I don't want to poise tank Artorias. That's not fun. Eileen. Eileen is straight to you? Eileen is very much not straight in my mind. Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one who thinks Eileen isn't straight. Yeah, I feel like the any to she pipeline is pretty common. I forgot to bring down the elevator. That's fine. It's just Artorias. I beat Artorias hitless with the Ghost Blade yesterday. Twice. I didn't do it twice yesterday, but I did it for the second time yesterday. Oh. Okay. Eileen is straight, but backwards. I mean, Kiaran isn't even straight. He's dating a lesbian. Oh. That's unfortunate. Oh, that avoided me. Okay. Oops. Missing butt. That's okay. We'll survive. Most likely. That double spin is probably my least favorite attack of his because it makes it so much less safe to be really aggressive. First try Artorias. I'm male, and I'm still a lesbian with she, her pronouns. Who cares what his voice is? He does have he, him pronouns, but he's a he, him lesbian. Artorias is very clearly a lesbian. Most lesbian vibes of any boss in Dark Souls. Dark Souls 1. Except for maybe Quelaag, but she's like too stereotypical to actually give off that strong lesbian vibes, you know? I am a woman. My gender is woman. Hey, don't call out my posture while I'm streaming. That's mean. I'm over here shrimping it and you're calling me out for it. Can't believe this. My back is already destroyed. I'm gonna have bad posture for the last bit of my life anyway. Might as well start it early. I want to walk more often. That would actually probably be really good for my posture. I guess if you want to include we as part of the pronouns. I am plural, so maybe I should add we, she, it to my pronouns. Oh my goodness. Owie. I don't think I've ever had that hit me, actually. That's unfortunate. We're all shrimp here. Oh my goodness. My whole life flashed before my eyes. Uh-oh. Ah! Everything's fine. Yeah, you just gotta move around. What? Can you define a reverse slouch, please? I need more information on that. Oh. If you're hearing a male voice, I think you need to get your ears checked. But also, voice doesn't define pronouns or gender or whatever, so real issue. Ah. Oh, that's not good. Sitting like an F slur. Okay. I've been making an effort to fix my posture, or rather my sitting position, not because of my back, but because for the longest time... Got this, this is fine. For the longest time... Actually, I literally just adjusted into this position without thinking about it. I sit with my left foot under my right thigh. For some reason, that's just the most comfortable way for me to sit, but it kills my leg. So I can't do it for very long. Or, well, I did it for a long, long time, right? And so my leg has been having problems because of that. So I've been trying to not sit like that. And it's been almost working. But I'm not quite there yet. But sticking out with your back reverse arched, I see. That's an interesting posture. Perfect. Was it like an overcorrection from having the traditional bad posture? Or was it like scoliosis of a sort? Yeah, it is a skill issue. It was 100% a skill issue that I didn't just dodge the magic attacks coming at me, or just didn't kill the enemies along the way. If you noticed, when I actually tried, and I killed the enemies before they could gang up on me, worked a lot better. So just don't get ganged up on. Getting ganged up on is a skill issue. With Dark Souls 1 and 2 specifically. I probably have scoliosis, but I've never checked. But I do notice myself leaning to the left a lot more often. So, chances are. You know, hold on, I'm trying to think of something funny to say. I don't know. While most of us probably do have mental illnesses, that's not one of them. I think bigots... I think we should make fun of bigots, but I'm bad at making fun of people, so other people should do it. I also like getting ganged up on, but not in this context. Why do we have spines? Because there is no god, and evolution sucks. Well, it's really, really good, really, really, really good at finding a local maxima and then staying there forever, which is kind of where we're at with the spine. You'd have to make a huge, huge change to like actually get rid of the spine. So like evolution found the local maxima and now we're stuck with broken, horrible spines for our lives. Or for the existence of our species, most likely. Oh, that's a follow-up, I forgot. Everything's fine. No, making fun of people is cool, if they're bad people. Just revert to slug and delete bones. True, we should do that. That'd be awesome. We should take control of our evolution or whatever. Wait, no, that's eugenics. Never mind. We should consensually turn people into slugs. We should get that technology. Oh yeah, I was gonna say, I think for most bigots, the ideal scenario is to try and like help them not be stupid before making fun of them. But if you make a good attempt at making them not stupid and they continue to be stupid, it is entirely moral, and I would argue good to make fun of them. Isn't there a blood vessel that like goes around your collarbone and takes like a really, really inefficient path to get to wherever it's going? Oops, I completely forgot that that was the combo. My brain just shut off. Brain? What was I talking about? Oh yeah, there's a blood vessel that takes like a really, really inefficient path to get to wherever it's going. And it's because we used to be a completely different shape. I mean, the human body functions. It barely functions, which is kind of the point, right? It works just enough to let us survive without taking too much energy or whatever. So like, it works just good enough is the thing with evolution generally. Return to monkey. Yeah, making fun of bad people is for harmless fun. Look, if you're not okay with making fun of bigots, then you're complicit in their bigotry. So if you don't want to make fun of bigots, it's a skill issue on your part at best. Survival of the good enough, yeah, exactly. Huh? Evolution sure is. Sure does work. I'm glad you're enjoying Ori. It's a really good game. Hope that fun keeps up. I should play the Ori games again. I have a really, really old series on my channel of just like playing the Ori game, or playing Definitive Edition. I never actually did Will o' the Wisp. Will o' the Wisp. No, you gotta make them feel bad about themselves. Make fun of bigots to make them be bigots less. Even if it doesn't actually change their mind, it might marginally change their behavior, which is good. Again, if you don't want to make fun of bigots, that's a skill issue on your part. Not being good enough at making fun of them to make them change their behavior. Self-awareness for the first time in their lives? Yeah, maybe. If we're lucky. It is not morally wrong to make fun of anyone. I would argue, in fact, that morality, as subjective as it is, I feel like it's a good idea to base morality on overall, like, enjoyment of life, right? So anyone who drastically decreases anyone else's enjoyment of life is therefore evil. And to that end, we should do whatever we can to either prevent them from doing that or to make them enjoy life in a way that doesn't harm anyone else, right? So, like, and if someone is inconsolable, for instance, I don't know, billionaire, then killing them is also morally good. But, you know. Skill issue. It's not equality, it's hating people because they hate other people. Yeah, I mean, making fun of people objectively gets people to change their mind. So again, objectively good to do. Oh yeah, I cut it on the air blast. I kind of forgot about that. Oh well. Thoughts on the weapon? I mean, thoughts on the build? It's fine. Lamb, thank you. Thank you. I don't feel like I deserve members, but I appreciate every single one. So thank you so much. Fat rolling sucks. Makes you go slow, so that's why I didn't use the armor most of the time. It also just doesn't affect a lot of bosses that I didn't use the armor for. The axe is cool. Has a fun R2 that you can actually use a decent amount of times before the weapon gets obliterated. Yeah. Level 69, which immediately makes the build 10 times better. Ended on level 69. Yeah. It's fine. The weapon's fine. I think the Great Axe was more fun before I got the weapon, but no. That's not fair because I haven't done a full playthrough with it. Yeah, Max, I agree completely.
Bless thy safe return. Let Garth and Frout serve your highness. We are here to serve your
Ori in the Broke Forest. And sends. Yeah. I agree. Alright, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I love you all. Again, thank you, Lamb. And I don't know how to end this.